Number 7. The fine-tuning argument. The universe is tuned like an instrument. This is the most scientifically detailed argument for a creator, because it works directly with the constants of physics rather than abstract logic. The strength of the strong nuclear force, the strength of gravity, the mass of the electron, or the cosmological constant, each of these values appears to sit within an extraordinarily narrow range that allows stars, chemistry, and life to exist at all. The cosmological constant, the value that determines the rate of expansion of space, must be balanced to approximately 1 part in 10 to the power of 120. If this value were more positive than that figure, the universe would tear itself apart in the blink of an eye. If it were more negative, it would collapse back on itself before galaxies could even form. If the strong nuclear force were to weaken by only about 2%, atomic nuclei more complex than hydrogen could not bind. In that case, the entire chemical periodic table would collapse, with no carbon and no oxygen. If gravity were stronger than its current level by only 1 part in a billion, stars would burn through their nuclear fuel in a few thousand years instead of billions, leaving no time for life to evolve. Those who support the fine-tuning argument argue that this precision is too extreme to attribute to chance. They believe it points toward an intentional design. The leading scientific counter-argument is the multiverse. If there were an infinite number of universes with different random physical constants, most would have no life. But obviously, we cannot observe a universe that does not support life. However, we can only observe a universe capable of producing observers, so observing a fine-tuned universe is inevitable. This reasoning is called the anthropic principle. Some theoretical frameworks, such as string theory's landscape of vacuum states or inflationary cosmology, predict the existence of billions of bubble universes, suggesting a real mechanism for a multiverse. However, as of the year 2026, no theoretical framework has been confirmed experimentally. The question of whether the universe is the product of coincidence, an infinite multiverse, or a design remains at the boundary between modern physics and deep philosophy. Number 6. The cosmological argument. Searching for the first cause. The cosmological argument is the oldest intellectual effort to trace the origins of the universe. This line of thought originated with the philosopher Aristotle, who introduced the concept of a prime mover, an entity that initiates the chain of cause and effect without itself requiring a cause. By the 13th century, Thomas Aquinas had formalized these arguments. Today, it is widely recognized through the Kalam variation, which was initiated by Islamic theologians and further developed by the philosopher William Lane Craig. The logical structure of this argument is remarkably concise. Everything that begins to exist has a cause. The universe began to exist. Therefore, the universe must have an underlying cause. The foundation of this argument rests on observational reality. Nothing spontaneously emerges from nothingness without an external influence. Proponents argue that an infinite regress of causes is illogical, as one cannot traverse an infinite sequence of past events to reach the present moment. Therefore, a first cause must exist. William Lane Craig argues that this cause must be timeless, spaceless, immensely powerful, and personal. Only an entity possessing free will has the capacity to bring about a temporal effect from an eternal state. An impersonal, mechanical cause would result in an effect that is either constant or non-existent. Modern cosmological data, specifically the Big Bang 13.8 billion years ago, is considered the strongest supporting evidence. If time itself began at that singular point, the cause of the universe must reside outside the constraints of time altogether. However, the most incisive counterargument remains. Why does the premise that everything has a cause apply to all things, except for the proposed first cause itself? If one entity can exist without a cause, why can we not simply accept that the universe itself requires no cause? This debate has persisted for centuries and remains one of the most challenging questions in modern philosophy. Regardless of the outcome, this argument compels us to confront the boundaries of human thought regarding existence itself. Number 5. The quantum fluctuation theory. The quantum fluctuation theory is a direct challenge to the notion that everything must have a cause. Instead of requiring a creator, modern physics suggests that the universe could have originated from nothing in the most natural way. In 2012, physicist Lawrence Krauss popularized this idea in his book, A Universe from Nothing, based on the solid foundation of quantum mechanics. In this context, nothing does not mean a philosophical void. It refers to a quantum vacuum state, where virtual particles constantly appear and disappear in extremely short intervals, approximately 10 to the power of -23 seconds. According to the Heisenberg uncertainty principle, energy in a vacuum is always fluctuating. Under specific conditions, a large enough fluctuation can generate energy, matter, and even an entire universe without any external intervention. This is a completely spontaneous mechanism. Experiments such as the Casimir effect have confirmed that vacuum energy pressure is real, with an energy density that reaches enormous levels when considered on a universal scale. If the early universe adhered to these laws, its emergence was not a miracle, but an inevitable consequence of physical constants. Critics argue that the quantum vacuum still contains physical laws and space-time structures, so it is not truly nothing. They contend that a philosophical absolute nothing, devoid of laws, fields, space, and time, could not produce anything. However, proponents assert that explaining the existence of the physical laws themselves is a separate issue. The goal of this theory is not to trace the roots of logic, but to demonstrate that within an existing framework of laws, matter can spontaneously emerge without an external push. This remains a delicate boundary between empirical science and philosophical speculation. Number 4. The eternal or cyclical universe theory. If the universe never had a beginning, the cosmological argument loses its second premise entirely, because there is nothing that began to exist. Many physical models are attempting to describe a universe without a true starting point. Eternal inflation proposes that the inflationary field, the energy source that drove the extremely rapid expansion of the early universe, never fully stops. It continues to stretch forever in some regions, perpetually spawning new bubble universes, each with its own Big Bang, in a process with no beginning and no end. Cyclical models, including the ekpyrotic scenario developed by physicists Paul Steinhardt and Neil Turok, along with oscillating universe models from the mid-20th century, assume our universe is just one phase in an endless sequence of expansions and contractions. Each Big Bang is essentially a big bounce, following the contraction of a previous cosmic cycle. If any of these models are correct, the universe in the broadest sense, the totality of all that exists, including whatever happened before our local Big Bang, never began. It has always existed in some form. There is no first event requiring a first cause, because there is no first event at all. The challenge facing these models is that none of them has produced a confirmed observational signature. Gravitational wave detectors like the BICEP array are still diligently searching for primordial traces, with sensitivity capable of detecting tiny fluctuations at 1/10 quadrillionth of a second after the beginning, to distinguish between inflationary, cyclical, and bounce theories. As of 2026, with over 20 years of cosmic microwave background observation and data from next-generation telescopes, no hypothesis has been confirmed as superior to the others. The question of whether the universe at its deepest level had an absolute beginning, or has existed for over 13.8 billion years in an eternal loop, remains a great mystery that science cannot yet definitively answer. Number 3. The first cause need not be a mind. This theory accepts the logical structure of the cosmological argument that the universe may have a cause or a ground of being, but rejects the leap to a personal, intentional creator. Philosophers in this camp argue that the cosmological argument, even if entirely sound, only establishes the existence of something timeless and uncaused at the foundation of reality. It does not prove that this foundation has intentions, awareness, or personhood. An abstract mathematical structure, a physical law, or a brute necessary fact could entirely serve as an uncaused first cause, without needing to be a mind of any kind. Philosopher Bertrand Russell, in his famous 1948 debate with Frederick Copleston, argued that the universe could simply be accepted as a brute, unexplained fact. He suggested that demanding an explanation for everything, including existence itself, might be a requirement that the universe is not obligated to satisfy. Russell called the universe simply just there, and that is all. This position occupies a middle ground in the debate. It takes seriously the philosophical weight of the question, why does anything exist at all, rather than nothing, without assuming the answer must be a deliberate, conscious creator. Critics from the theistic side argue that this leaves the deepest version of the question, why this particular set of laws and this structure, rather than something else, completely unaddressed and unresolved. It opens a void where physics and philosophy are still diligently searching for the final pieces of existence without needing to invoke any supernatural force. Number 2. The no-boundary proposal, the universe without borders. This theory directly challenges the premise that the universe necessarily requires an external cause to begin. In 1983, physicists James Hartle and Stephen Hawking proposed a model that fundamentally changes how we think about time and origins. In standard physics, time is assumed to begin at the Big Bang singularity, roughly 13.8 billion years ago. When asking what caused the Big Bang, we assume there was a moment before it in which an action could take place. Hartle and Hawking rejected this logic by using imaginary time, a mathematical method that reformulates time near the universe's origin. In this model, the universe has no sharp starting boundary. Asking what happened before the Big Bang becomes meaningless, much like trying to find the home address of someone living at the very center of a closed circle. No matter which direction you travel on that circle, you are merely moving along a continuous path without a beginning or an end point. If this hypothesis is accurate, the universe is a finite four-dimensional geometric structure with no edges. Stephen Hawking famously asserted that this model removes the need for a creator. If the universe is a self-contained closed system with physical constants tuned to a precision of roughly 1 part in 10 to the 120th power, such as the cosmological constant, then it simply exists without needing any agent to set its initial conditions. However, critics argue that this approach still fails to address the root issue. Even without a temporal beginning, the underlying laws of quantum physics and the mathematical structures that allow the universe to operate still exist. Explaining the absence of a temporal start does not inherently explain why these physical laws are so coherent and precise that they could produce a universe like the one we observe. The question of the ultimate origin of cosmic order remains. Number 1. The simulation and designer theory. An increasing number of physicists and philosophers are taking seriously the possibility that whatever created the universe may not be supernatural at all, but rather an advanced intelligence operating from within a different physical framework, a parent universe, or a computational substrate. Nick Bostrom's 2003 simulation argument proposes that if civilizations capable of creating high-fidelity simulated realities with computing power reaching approximately 10 to the power of 42 operations per second, sufficient to simulate the entire history of humanity, are common, then statistically, most conscious experiences would occur inside simulations rather than in a single base physical reality. Under this framework, a creator of the universe could be an advanced intelligence running a system, fundamentally a creator in the most literal sense of having authored the conditions and laws governing this reality, but not a deity in the traditional theological sense. Separately, some physicists have speculated in theoretical work that black holes might give rise to new universes on their far side. With the massive gravity of a black hole, which can reach billions of times the mass of the Sun, physical calculations suggest that a bounce within the black hole singularity has the potential to release enough energy to form a new space-time. Under this model, the creator of our universe would simply be whatever massive collapsing star or structure produced the black hole that birthed it, a physical process, not an intentional act. These theories reframe the entire question. They suggest that asking if the universe had a creator and if the universe has a deity may be two separate questions with two separate answers. The cosmological and fine-tuning arguments, even if they succeed with probabilities as small as the fine-tuning of the cosmological constant at 1 part in 10 to the power of 120, may only get you part way to a designer without ever establishing what kind of designer it is. The existence of a system architect does not imply an omnipotent being, but opens the path to the perspective that reality may simply be a technical product rather than a purely spiritual creation. This is the thin line between advanced computer science, theoretical physics, and the most profound existential questions of humanity.